Welcome back. It's me, Pyregrove. Thank you all for the likes, comments, and interaction on the channel. It goes a long way in regards to motivation. In the previous episode, we seized the opportunity to acquire some valuable blueprints. Today, we will try to advance our position by purchasing blueprint copies through the contract system. Blueprints can be classified as either originals or copies. The originals, commonly known as BPOs, can be located in the market's blueprint section and are sold by NPC vendors. On the other hand, copies, referred to as BPCs, cannot be sold on the market but can be traded through contracts. Up to this point, all the blueprints we've obtained are original blueprints. Copies can be generated by players from originals, purchased from loyalty point stores, or obtained as drops from NPCs, particularly in the case of some rare ships and modules. We have the option to acquire fully researched T1 blueprint copies or T2 blueprints. By investing in T2 blueprints, we can manufacture items without the need to conduct our own research. It's important to note that copies come with a limited number of runs, and once all these runs are exhausted, the copy will vanish. To determine the effect of the purchase price on the job cost, I divide the purchase price by the total number of runs available on the blueprint copy, and then I add that figure to the manufacturing job cost per run using some mental calculations. I'm aware that many people utilize spreadsheets to manage such calculations, and I am sure I will reach that point eventually. One crucial factor to consider when evaluating these blueprints is whether the items they produce are distributed as rewards through the initial missions. As we discussed in our earlier episodes, we received items to aid us while completing career missions, which we could sell. This practice exerts downward pressure on the item prices due to players who opt not to pursue that gameplay route and choose to sell their rewards instead. Consequently, it becomes nearly impossible to find some profitable items that are frequently given as rewards. This is precisely why I refrain from purchasing blueprints for low-tier ships, as it is nearly unfeasible to manufacture them profitably, especially at our current skill level. Let's take a minute and try to find 1 or 2 profitable blueprint copies so you can see the process I use. I'll see you in a bit. It is essential to remember that while we are engaged in these activities, we must ensure that we are consistently producing something and keeping our manufacturing and research slots occupied. An empty slot does not generate any income for us. I have thought about making some of our own tech 2 blueprints, however, they're mostly locked behind the paid subscription called Omega. I have no issues getting Omega, and will likely do it in the coming days to speed things up. This will allow us to research skills to allow for more manufacturing and science jobs.
drive active. Drive active. Docking request accepted. Drive active. Drive active.
One mistake I made when purchasing these items is that sometimes they require certain skills to be able to produce. In the case of the shield hardener, I did not have the shield rigging skill researched, which means I was ineligible to produce the items until such time as I had that trained. There was also some other skills that had to be trained before being able to train shield rigging. Luckily for us, this is a low tier item and took something like 6 hours to train to produce. Let's get these items started cooking. This is where we currently sit for money. You can see that we have taken quite the hit on capital. Our income has increased drastically, however, so has our expenses. We currently have money tied up in materials to make more products, so it's not liquid money for us to utilize yet. You can see that the initial reward portion of the income has shrunk, while the market income has grown. Here is my income sheet. As you can see, it's mostly made up of the items we're producing. Here is my expense sheet, mostly made up of materials to produce those items. Here is all of the skills I have currently trained for my character so far. Let me know if you prefer frequent videos or more long-form ones down in the comments below.